Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today I get to take a look at a game I've been wanting to play for so long, and it's a game about fashion. That's right, I said it, fashion. Step off. And it's called Pret-A-Porter, 3rd edition. Pret-A-Porter is a 2 to 4 player game from I don't know why I said 5, 2 to 4, you know, whatever. From Portal Games. This is the 3rd edition of this game. First and second were completely different art, had some different pieces, but this is its own. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but it has some streamlining and all that, and it looks way better. But that's beside the point. We'll save that for later. This is a game about running a fashion house. You're making designs. You're hiring workers, you're making contracts with people, you're building some extra expansions onto your operation so you can have more stuff going on. But at its heart, it's an economic game. You're trying to use money to make the most money, turn that money into points. Whoever has the most points and money at the end of the game is the winner. You're going to do this through some worker placement, through some resource management, some set collection. There's a lot of stuff going on. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table. See how it plays. Alright, so here's a game of Pret-A-Porter set up for 2 players. Let me go over setup really quickly. To set up, you're going to give each player a player board, which is going to look like this. I'm not going to show you what's done here. I'll show you some stuff later, but here's an up close. There'll be an income track or a upkeep tracker, which is here. Be places for 3 employees. There'll be a design specialty here, and then there'll be a place for all your tokens. And they're 2-sided, so you can pick whichever side you like, and they're also the player colors. This is pink. You're going to give each player tokens of their colors, which will look like this. This is the Kickstarter version that I'm doing this run through with. So they have fancy little people engraved on there. You'll give each player a marker that says +1, -1, which you can't see that well. Then there'll be a -10 as well. The +-1's going to go on the 3 track of your upkeep. Each player is going to get one of these specialties. So the orange player is going to specialize in shoes. And it's also going to give you the starting design cards that you have on the back. Then you're going to give each player those design cards, which look like this. These are the Kickstarter art design cards. So here's the green. So that in order to complete this, I need to have a yellow and red fabric. And you're going to give each player 40 credits, which are right here. They look like little credit cards. They look kind of cool, so I'll show you. Like little credit cards, which is kind of neat. They even have a chip. All right, then some player will get the first player marker, which is in the Kickstarter version is this nice wooden piece. Then you're going to put out the board. You're going to put the contracts on this space, buildings in this space, just how I have it set up here, so 3 face up, and the other cards are face up, so you kind of know what's going to come out. Employees here, designs here. Down here is where you're going to go to get fabrics, and then over there are the fashion shows, and up here I have the lines of credit, emergency credit, and the cards for the 9th, 10th, or 10th, 11th, and 12th round. And there's also a phase tracker, which is this cool little token. All right, so that's set up. I'll explain the areas when we go. So let's go ahead and get started. So this game is essentially a worker placement game. You're going to take a worker, you're going to put it in one of the locations on the board. There's 1 through 9. In this game, we can do both of these first 2 spots. Let's say 2 and 2 plus. We cannot use the 3rd spot because it's only available for 4. All right, so let's go get started, and then I'll tell you what happens as we go. So orange is first. So they're going to take one of the workers. They're going to go to a location. So they want to go get a new design. So to do that, they're going to go to area 5. All you're doing right now is you're just putting a worker down. So they're going to 5. So they know when 5 comes, they're going to take this action. We're going to put all of our workers down. Then we'll resolve the workers starting from 1 to 9. Blue, they would like to... They're going to go here. Get a contract. And I'll explain what some of this stuff does as we go. Back to orange. They would like to They want to go here. They want to get an accountant. Then back to blue. Blue would like to get a building, so let's go ahead and get a building. Back to orange. Orange wants to get another employee. And then blue cannot go there. They're frozen out. So they think they will just go here and get another design as well. All right. All workers are placed. Now we're going to resolve workers starting at 1 all the way down to 9. So no one's at 1. What 1 is it's a bank. You can go to the 1 location, and based on a number of color cards that you have in a set is how much money you get. So you can't see this, but I'll flash a picture up on the screen. So 1 card will give you $10 credit, 2 cards 20, 3 cards 30, 4 cards 40. And the credit looks like this. It's going to give you cash now. It's going to have some money you have to pay for upkeep, and then some money you have to pay back after the fashion show. So that's what 1 does. Nobody goes there, so done. 2, contracts. Blue went there, so they're going to take their pawn back, and now they get to take one of the contracts. A contract is going to be good for 2 fashion shows. It'll be really good through the first fashion show, then it's going to flip to a weaker side, and then you'll have it for another 2 rounds. And they're free, they don't cost any money, they're just going to give you special abilities to let you do stuff. So they're going to take this one, and they're going to have a contract with a design office. It's going to let them sell a design card for $10. So they may have a card they don't want. It's going to help them get some cash flowing in. Contracts go on the left side of your board. They don't have to, but that's what the rule book says, so I just do that to follow the rules. And then now we're going on to 3. This is buildings. Blue also went here, and they want to take, should have thought this out. They actually want to take this, the design office, because that's going to work with their design office contract very well. So this is going to let them draw a card, and they have to pay this amount of money, and then it's going to adjust their upkeep by this amount of money. So I'm going to go here. Have to pay $4. So let's see, we have $4. It's going to adjust the upkeep by 2. 1, 2. So now they have to pay 5 at the upkeep phase, which we'll get into in a little bit. Take their pawn back. Now we're going to 4. This is employees. So orange is going to upgrade their employee base. So they want to take the accountant for sure, because the accountant is amazing. If I can pick it up. So the accountant, during upkeep, it's going to give them $5. And later when they upgrade it, if they upgrade it, it'll give orange $7. So that's really nice. All right, so they're free to come. You don't have to pay for them, but they do adjust your upkeep. So there's a couple things you can do. If you have a building, you can tuck a new employee under a building. So buildings give you extra places to hold employees. Or you can just lay off one of your current employees. If it's a starter, you just cover it up. If it's a card that's already there, you have to pay double the upkeep and you discard it. So in this case, I'm going to cover up this first one. So it's going to decrease my upkeep by 1 because I let that one go. Then it's going to increase my upkeep by 2. So now I'm at 4. But I have an accountant that's going to give me $5. So as of right now, I'm going to be making $1 on upkeep because I make more than I have to spend. So that's cool. But that's about to change here in a second. Then I'm going to take another contract, and I'm going to take this one. So this is a sales representative. It's going to let me take action number 6 without having a pawn there. And that is really good because taking extra actions without pawns is what you need to do to get some benefits. So I'm going to put this here, cover up this one. So down 1 and up 2. So now I'm at 5. So my accountant pays for my upkeep. Done. Now we're moving on to 5. This is where I just take designs. I just take a design card, put it above my board. So orange is going first. I want to have multiple colors, or more than one of a color. So I'm going to actually take this one. So I have a red here. So I'm taking this red. It's worth $27 down at the bottom, which is really nice. All right. And then blue is going to take the other red because they started out with a red card as well. And they'll add that to their collection. All right. So that's done. Now we're at 6. No pawns are there, but if you remember, orange bought a card that lets them do the 6 action, so they get to do that without a pawn. So what's going to happen here is they'll get to take the action of 6, but they're not going to get quality. 6, 7, and 8 are going to give you quality based on the type of fabric that you get, which basically means the more expensive the fabric is, the better the quality. So orange is going to do one of these this action without getting quality, without having a pawn there. So when they look, this one means they can buy as many fabric of one type as they want. So say they wanted yellow, they can buy as many yellows as they want. 7, you can buy one of all the colors, so you can buy up to 6 fabrics because there's 6 colors. This one, 8, is the same as 6, but it costs more money, and you get 3 quality. And then 9 is just some things you can get. You can get a trend token, quality, PR, and $5. And I'll go over what some of those tokens do at the end of the fashion show. So we'll get there. So here, this player's looking at their cards. So they have 2 cards that need whites. They're going to buy 2 whites at no discount. So that's going to cost them $16 because white costs 8. That's kind of pricey. So they spend their 16 bucks. Then they'll take 2 white tokens from the supply, which look like this. I didn't show you these, but they're really cool. They're like little spools of thread or fabric or yarn or whatever. And then you're going to put them, you don't have to assign them to the cards, but just to make life easier, I'm going to assign them to the cards. And that is their turn. No one else have, oh, and this, sorry, I missed it. This player bought this card. So they had a pawn on 5. That means they would have gotten to draw a card off the top. I missed that. So they get to draw a card off the top, and they drew yellow. This is more Kickstarter art. All the designs in this game are the Kickstarter designs. All right, so that is all that. We're done. Now, before we go down to Upkeep, we get to do one more thing. We can upgrade 1 employee and 1 building to the better sides if we want to. So in this case, this player is going to do that. They only have 1 building, so they're going to pay $3, and then they flip it. It's basically just going to make that action better, but it also makes your Upkeep go up by 1. So they pay 3. So there, take $2 back. Their Upkeep goes up 1, so now they're at 6. And then this player has 2 employees, but they can only do 1. So they're going to actually upgrade the accountant for $2, which puts it onto the assist side that gives them $7 during Upkeep. But then it also makes their Upkeep go up 1. And they had to pay $2 for that. So $2 right here. All right, so that's that. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do Upkeep. So we go down here, move this little round action tracker. Now we do Upkeep. So Upkeep, you have to pay your Upkeep costs. And if you have any cards that fire at Upkeep, which is referenced by the little cash register icon right there, they'll fire off as well. So let's start with Orange. Orange gets $7 for the accountant. So they'll take their $7. And then their Upkeep is 6, so they'll take 6 of that 7 and dump it back in there. So then they made $1 on that deal. Not too shabby. All right, and then we're going over to this player. They have this card that can function. Sell 1 card for $10, and they're going to do that. They're going to get rid of this yellow card because it's only going to net them 17, but they'd have to spend about 6 to get it. So they're going to basically lose $1 out of it, but that's fine. So they'll discard this one, and then they get $10. And now they get to pay their Upkeep, which is 6. Do I have a 5? Do not have a 5. So I get 4 1s back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm getting rid of the 10. All right. That was Upkeep. Now we're moving on to round 2. So first player marker goes to the next player. You get rid of the cards that are left. They're out of the game. So if you don't buy the cards, they are gone. And I don't know how many of each different type of card there are, but sometimes if there's one you want, you may have to jump on it because it may never come up again. And then we'll get rid of the designs. If any of those tokens were taken, we'd refill that as well, but they weren't, so we'll just leave those be. And then we'll refill. So I'm going to play through the first 3 rounds, which will show you 2 rounds of play, 2 rounds of Upkeep, and then a fashion show. And then we'll go up top and see what we think about it. Spoilers, we think highly about it. Whoops. All right, so 4 more designs. In case you couldn't tell, that card is drawn by the guy that does all the Raiders games because he loves Vikings. All right, and then we roll. So blue player is first now to place. They would like to get some threads. So they're going to actually go here first. Then orange also would like some thread, but they want to go to this one. But they get to go to 6 as well. Yeah, they still need to go to this one. And then blue wants to get an employee. They actually, ooh, there's 2 accountants out there. They're going to get an accountant. Orange could get another accountant, but they want to get some PR, some trend or something. They're actually going to go to 9, just so I can show you some other actions. And then blue would like to get a no. They have to go down here and get some more stuff. So they're going to go to 6. They'll go to 8. And to orange. Orange would like to get a contract, so let's get a contract. All right, so that was that. Then we're going to fire 1. Nobody's at 1. 2 is orange. Orange would like to take this, because this is nice. So they're going to do another action at location number 6 for $2 less. So they're basically functioning 6 without having to use any pawns, because they have 2 no pawn cards, which is super nice. Then take that back. Then nobody's at 3, so nobody's getting a building. 4, blue is going to snag a building, and they're actually going to take an accountant, because those are really nice. So that moves our upkeep by 2. Take the pawn. Nobody's getting designs. Now we're at 6. So 6, because blue has a pawn here, normally they would get to go first. But because orange has 2 cards that have no pawns and a 6. Oh, and this player has a 5, but it needs to have a pawn there, so that doesn't fire. So this player would get to use their 2 6 no cards, or 6 no pawn cards before the blue player. It doesn't really matter. You can kind of do this all at the same time, but just for the sake of this, I'll show you. So the first one is resolve a location number 6 with all prices reduced by 2. So this player needs to buy a purple. They'll buy a red, actually, they'll buy 1 red. They don't get any quality, so they'll spend 3 for that red. So $3 red token. And now this one's good to go. So that was that card. Then this one, resolve location, gaining none. They're actually not going to do that, and I'll explain why in a second. So they're not doing that one. So now it's blue player's turn. They're going to get 1 quality because they are actually used a pawn. So quality tokens look like this. It's a little Q. It'll go on their board. All right, and then they're going to buy 2 purples. Ooh, 2 whites for 16. Actually, 2 whites for 16. So there's 20. Take 4 back. 2, 3. Come on. I hate digging through money. Alright, and there's $4 back. So they're taking 2 whites. So now they have 2 of the whites they need. Now they just need 2 purples. So they get their token back. Now it's me, I'm at 7. So I get 2 quality here as long as I buy at least 1 thing. And I'm going to buy 1 purple, so that's good. So I'll take 2 quality. That's a 3. There's 1 tokens and there's 3 tokens. So I just need 2 ones. And now I'm going to buy 1 purple for $6. So there's 10. I need 4 back. Let's root around and find 4. 1, 2. Come on. Need 1 more 1. 1 more 1. Yes, there it is. Got it. Alright, so then I will take my purple. And I'm good to go with these guys, these designs. Take my pawn back. And now blue is at 8. So as long as they buy at least 1, they'll get 3 quality. And they're going to buy 2 purples, which is 14. Whew, it's expensive. So they're running low on cash. So there's 14. But they get 3 quality. And then they're going to take 2 purples. So now their red ones are good to go. All right, take that back. Now I'm at 9, so basically I get to take any of these actions. So I can take money, quality, trend, or $5. And I'm actually going to take trend. And I'll explain why I did that later. All right, take my worker back. Now again, just like before we go to upkeep, we can upgrade a worker and a building. So this player has one worker. They're going to pay $2 to upgrade their accountant up 1. So now they're going to get them $7. I can train this guy for 2, and that'll move me up 1 more. So let me make sure I have that 3, 6, 7. Yep. Okay. So I had to pay $2. I made my experienced sales representative, so it's going to let me do number 6. But I get reduced by $2 and I gain quality. So it's just like I had or no quality still, but it's like I have a pawn there, but $2 discount, which is nice. So that's that. Then we're going to slide down to upkeep. So we don't have any, we both have an accountant to get $7. I'm not going to take that because this player is going to take 7 and spend 7, so I just don't get any money. This player is going to take 7, but they have to spend 9, so they'll get rid of 2. So done, they have $3 left, so it's just in time. All right, now we're going to do fashion show. The way the fashion show works, there are 4 different phases. First phase, any of these prestige markers that you had would be cashed from the previous fashion show, would be cashed into points. First round, we don't have any of these, so we skip that. Next, we're going to submit designs into the fashion show. So you can see down here, I have 2 reds. This player also has 2 reds, but I'm just going to focus on this one for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter these 2 reds. And because one of these reds is a shoe, and my specialty is shoe, I get a trend token. So I'll go ahead and take that trend token and put it on my board. This player has nothing that's trendy. Yeah, so they're not trending at all with theirs, but they get a quality because one of theirs has built-in quality. So they have 4 quality over in this piece. 5 quality, actually. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to be judged in the fashion show. So if you look at this card, we're going to judge all 4 of these things. The first item is going to be worth 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and only the top item gives second place. So the first one is size of the collection. So each of us have 2. So what that's going to do is it's going to make us tie for second, and we would each get 1 point. I believe that's how that works. So we're each going to get 1 prestige point. If that's wrong, I'll put a note in there. So we each get 1 prestige, which is just those little ribbons that I showed you earlier. All right, and then we're going to get judged on quality. It'll be worth 3 points, no second place. So blue has that locked down with 5. So they're going to get a 3 prestige right here. And then we're going to do trend. I have that locked down because I have 2 trend tokens from my collection right here. So that gives me 2 prestige right there. And then last thing we're going to be judged on is PR. None of us have any PR, so we neither of us get anything for that. So we're moving on. So that was that. All right, so we've been judged accordingly. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to sell our designs back. When we sell I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my goods so I can hold these cards up. So when you sell your designs, your goods go away. And then you're going to sell the cards for the money that's on the bottom. So in this case, I'm going to get $53 for selling these cards. Plus a bonus of 3 extra, $1 for every prestige I have times cards. So I have 3 prestige, 2 cards, so I get $6 extra added on to my 53. So I'm going to get $59, and you keep these because they're going to get points at the beginning of the next fashion show. And then these will get discarded. So I'll get $59. I'll go ahead and take it. Hopefully I have enough money in here. There's a 50, 61. All right. So I took 59. This player's doing the same thing. So they're going to get rid of their fabric. They have $26 and $24. So they're going to get $50 for selling back their designs. So 50 plus 2 cards times 4 prestige is $8. So they're going to get $58. Keep those. See if I can get $50 more in here. 20. Oh, there's a 50. We'll just do that. 50, 60, get rid of 2. $58. All right. So we did all that. Keep our prestige, get all that, gather money, did all that. Now we're going to go to Upkeep, because you have to go to Upkeep always. So during Upkeep, this player is allowed to sell a design card, but they're not going to do that because they want to keep that one. Then he's going to get 7, but they have to pay 9, so they really have to pay $2. So let's pay 2. It's going to give them 8 back. I need a 5-er. All right, so there we go. So I get 8 back. Then this player is going to get 7 because of their accountant, and they have an upkeep of 7, so they get and lose nothing, so they're done. Then the last thing you do in a fashion show is you're going to take all your contracts. If they have this symbol at the bottom, you're going to flip it over to the other side, which basically makes it a weaker version of the contract. Then the next time you hit that symbol, the flip over symbol, if it has an X, the card will get discarded. So in this case, that one gets flipped, and this player's would get flipped. So they're going to be able to sell their design for less money now. Still good because it doesn't cost any money, no upkeep. So done. Then we would go to round 4. You can flip this over to signify that you're done. And then in this one, at this fashion show, you're going to be judged on 2 cards, but you're only going to judge the top 3 of each card. So there'll be first, second, and third place of 2 different cards. And then as you go down, it'll be the first 2 of these 3, and then only 1 on those 4. Then you're going to refill, and you're going to keep playing until the end, and then whoever has the most points plus money is the end of the is the winner at the end of the game. So points and money 1-to-1 is all your score at the end of the game. So you're trying to just have the most money, have the most points to be the best fashion designer this side of the Mississippi. So that's how you play Pret-A-Porter. Let's go to the top, see what they think about it. All right, so that was Pret-A-Porter. I gotta say, I was so excited. I was like a fat kid in a candy store, or a fat kid eating a piece of cake, whatever. I am a fat kid, so I can say that. Again, step off. So yeah, this is a game I've been wanting to play forever. I didn't get a chance to get the other version, either first edition or second edition, because they look drastically different. They play mostly the same, but that's the one that I initially wanted. But then this one came out and it was more readily available. One of our awesome fans sent me a copy of the Kickstarter version, so I finally got to play it. So thank you, Joel. So yeah, this game, like I said earlier, and like I showed you in the playthrough, is a worker placement game at its core. But if you do it strictly as worker placement, you're not going to have enough people to do what you need to do to get ready for the fashion show. So let's jump right into the pros, and that's going to be my first pro, is being able to create this engine that's going to help you take advantage of more actions through a round, because there's 2 rounds and you need to get as much done as you can. So yes, you have 3 workers, but by the end of maybe the 8th or 9th round, you may have 10 workers that are going to be doing things for you, even though you only have 3 pawns. So as the game goes on, you're going to have this huge workforce that you're paying. You're going to have buildings that are going to do things. You're going to have contracts with outsiders that are going to help you do things, just to get as much done in a round as you possibly can to have the best fashion show. So pro number 1. Pro number 2, I really like the way that the economy works in this game. So you're spending the money that you're earning to make more money, to spend that money to make more money. And you're trying to do that better than everybody else. Sometimes there are some cards that let you take money and pay less money to turn them into points. Yeah, you're getting rid of the money, but the points can never go away. So they're there forever, baby, and that's awesome. So I like that. Third thing that I enjoy from this game is the production value. And this is going to be the components, the art, the presentation, just all of it wrapped up into one. So just production, all that good stuff. So this one's gorgeous. It's art from Quanchai Moria. He's done art for tons of games. So you can see, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if you see it, you would recognize it because his art is fantastic. This is gorgeous production. The Kickstarter version, I don't know how different it is from retail, but I know that some of the first planar marker is wooden. I know that the cardboard sticker, I think, and the little round tracker thing is screen printed instead of stickered. I'm not sure what else is different, but it doesn't matter. Even the retail version, I'm sure, is amazing looking, and I really enjoy this about this one. And I don't normally care about that, but this does really look nice. Fourth pro, which I'm going to go into, which is going to be Kickstarter related, and that is, I like the addition of the design cards that have the alternate art. I know that's not going to be available for everybody, so I should have lumped this in the other one, but I didn't because I like it that much. There's different artists. I know one is the Miko. He did the ones that have they look like Vikings because he loves Vikings. Piero did some. I'm not sure which ones Piero did. And there are a couple other designers. I think maybe Michael Menzel did one. I could look in the rule book, but it's all the way over there. So I'm not going to. But yeah, there's like 6 or 7 different sets of cards that were done by other artists, and I like that. So that's all that I used in the playthrough that I did, and that's probably all I'm going to continue to play with until they get raggedy. Then I'll just grab the other cards, go with that. So it's like you have 2 sets of cards, which is kind of cool. Third thing that I enjoy is I like the time that this game takes. So I played this at 4 and I played it at 2. 4 didn't really go on much longer than 2 outside of having to teach 3 players how to play the game. So once you get through the teaching, the game's pretty simple. You go do some work, you go count down, 1 to 9, you take the actions, move on. A lot of the stuff you can do at the same time. So 6 through 8 you can do at the same time. Upkeep you do at the same time. So all you're really doing in turn order is the worker placement, drafting card stuff. So that's cool. One more pro that I enjoy is I enjoy the money. This should have been in components, but I like this enough that I wanted to put it in its own bullet. And the money is cool little cardboard credit cards, and I think that's awesome. It's not paper, it's not fiddly, they're big and chunky, easy to tell apart, and I like it. And the final pro, which I may have said the last one was the final, but I lied. The final pro that I like is I like the way that the loans and the emergency loans work. So I didn't show it in the run through, and I probably should have, so sorry about that. But action 1, you can go and you can take a line of credit. So I guess it's a line of credit in loans. You take that line of credit, you get cash now. Then you're going to use that cash to do other things. But then after the fashion show, you need to make sure you have enough cash on hand to be able to pay that line of credit back, because they're only good for those 2 rounds prior to the fashion show. So you may get into this vicious cycle where you're taking out a line of credit every round. You're going to be paying a lot of money back at the end of the round. And if you have to take an emergency loan, which would be like, say I have an upkeep where I need to pay $15 and I have 12. I need $3. I have to take an emergency loan. You got to pay back the loan plus $8 in interest. The lines of credit, you just pay back what it is, but the emergency loans are more because they're emergency. So I really like that. I don't love loans in games, but I like the way, since this is an economic game, you have to spend money to make money. It makes sense that as a fashion house or designer or whatever, that you would be taking out lines of credit to get stuff done, because that's what's going to have to happen. Cons, I'm not even going to talk about those because there aren't any. This game's amazing. I love it. Even the rule book, which I didn't mention earlier, this is a Portal game, and the rule book is fantastic. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they are starting to knock the rule books out of the park. So yeah, another pro. No cons. Not going to be any cons. So let's get down to the brass tacks. You want to know what I think about this game. Probably should have known that I was going to give this high marks because I've been wanting it forever. So even if it was terrible, I'd probably give it a higher rating than it deserves. But that's not the case. This is fantastic. And I'm going to give this a BGM wrench rating of 4.5 out of 5. This is a 9 out of 10 on BGG for me all day. Maybe a 9.5, but I'll stick with 9 if I play it more. When I play it more, not if. When I play it more, that rating will probably only go up. It's not going to go down. It's probably only going to go up. So, highly accepted, highly regarded from me. And I think I even convinced Joel to go get a copy. He was a little turned off by the theme, but we did some talking. And I think he's going to check it out. So, that's exciting. So yeah, I love this game. It's not ever going to leave my collection. Probably going to be up really high in next year's top 100. So listen then, see what happens. So yeah, that was Pret-A-Porter. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.